Following the expiration of the tenure of the local government chairman in Rivers State on Monday, June the 17th, Rivers State Governor Simi Fubara has directed heads of administration in the 23 local government areas to take over from the elected council chairman whose 3-year tenure has elapsed. Fubara, after a state security council meeting at the government house in Port Harcourt, said his administration will work to ensure that peace continues to prevail in Rivers State, while also protecting all patriotic supporters for their stand on the path of truth. He emphasized that there is no extension of tenure of elected local government chairmen, noting that the law is unambiguous on it, as the court has also affirmed the position of the law.
Let me also say this. I am also aware that there is also a grand plan to come and arrest some of our supporters. This time around, you have to pass through me to arrest them, because I don't think there is anything that any of those people following us have done rather than stand on the side of truth. If it will cost us our life to stand on the path of truth, we will do that, and I will be the one that will lead this cause. Let me assure everyone, more especially the great and peace-loving people of Rivers State, the law is the law. The law has said that there is no extension of tenure. The court said so. And whoever is assuring anybody anywhere of whatever, I advise them to desist from it, because peace is what we need in these states.
Meanwhile, 3 immediate past local government chairmen in Kalabari Kingdom have urged pro-wicked groups in their domain to shun violence and desist from any act that could lead to the breakdown of law and order in Rivers State over the controversial issue of tenure elongation.
It's never our fault. People rather should be asking the governor, why did you not conduct local government election when these persons at the tenure were running over?
Okay.
We were in Rivers State. I challenge everybody. There was no time the state said they want to conduct election and somebody took them to court to conduct election. There was no time. I challenge.
Yes.
That they want to conduct election and the state people say don't conduct election. He deliberately refused to conduct election, so that as brothers we will kill ourselves. We are Calabari people, so we must be wise. This thing we are doing here, want to kill ourselves, it's not happening in Opobo. So why is it happening here? Are we the only tribe in this state? So we should be wise. People are trying to pitch amongst ourselves. Let's be wise and make sure we don't fall into their hands by killing ourselves. Everybody should exercise restraint, no matter the provocation. Everybody exercise restraint, no matter the provocation. This matter is in court. By God's grace, we know that it will get to Supreme Court, but one day the matter will end. Let's not take the laws into our hands. Allow the police or whoever has the responsibility to man the councils rather than taking laws into our hands. Because nobody has monopoly of violence.
That gentleman there trying to mimic Yesum Wike. But joining us now is Sir Gabriel T.B, former Deputy Governor, Rivers State, and Acting Chairman, Rivers Elders and Leaders Forum. Good morning, Sir Gabriel T.B. Thank you for joining us on the morning show.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Well, sir, very quickly, I mean, we don't need to tell you the story that you know too well. We just like to have your views, your perspective on what is going on in Rivers State.
Well, it's an unfortunate situation. We elders, and I'm sure every man of goodwill, will want to have peace. And we've always had peace in this state. What's going on to me is something I don't understand. The issue of chairmen of local government whose tenure have expired and those who want to sit on, and elongation of tenure and all that, I think the governor of Rivers State has already made the position clear in his statement. And we can only have one governor, one authority. And since he has that authority to say what he has said, particularly the fact that the tenure of the chairman ended 17th, and he had directed that they should hand over to the heads of administrations in various local governments. I think that's the way to go. All chairmen should be able to obey and adhere to that. We cannot allow anarchy. He is the authority now. However, if any of them think that the governor is giving wrong directive, they know what to do. It's not to take the law into their own hands, like I think one of the chairmen of the Calabari local government has said. What we need is cooperation. Nigerians have always refused the issue of elongation, whether it's president or governor or anywhere. So why would chairmen of local governments now want an elongation? But in any case, the governor has said it's not on. The law does not provide for it. The Constitution does not provide for it. And he has said this is the way we should go. I will plead that all former chairmen should please adhere to that. And of course, the issue of election will come. And those who are prepared and who think that they have the support of the people should go for election. I mean, this interim thing will not last more than 3-6 months. And elections will be held. So I think they should all keep their powders dry and get ready to go for election. And let us have peace in this state. Anybody who is beating the drum of war is not in his interest or in any interest of anybody at all in this state. And those who have seen battle and wars never want to go to war again. And we can ill afford it in Rivers State, and we can ill afford it in Nigeria. Because everybody knows that, I mean, if Rivers State sneezes, the country catches cold. There's no doubt about it. And we cannot pretend about it. And we elders, we've always cautioned we need peace. We need to allow the governor to govern. If the governor has done anything wrong, please take the proper constitutional avenues to checkmate him. But in any case, it's done 1 year, it's 3 years more. So those who want to be governors of the state should get ready. Elections will come, and everybody will go back to the field and conduct the election. But for now, let us have peace.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Peace is what we want, and let Rivers be at peace. The question a number of people have asked, and in the video introducing this particular interview, we had seen someone talk about the fact that one of the reasons why we have what we have today is that the governor didn't conduct LG elections. What could have been the reason for this? And do you think that perhaps that's one of the reasons why we have the situation on ground? Because if the elections had been conducted as at when due, then we wouldn't be in this situation where tenures have ended, people are refusing to go, they're saying they're elongated or not.
I don't want to talk for the governor. I mean, as you know, when you're a governor, there are a lot of factors that come on your table. And you take decisions based on situations on ground. So I don't want to talk for him. The issue of not conducting election as and when due It's not a peculiar thing. I mean, this issue of caretaker committee or not conducting election as and when it's everywhere in the country. It's happened here. So it's not as if Siminalayi governor is trying to set up something new. And that can be any reason for anybody to sit tight or to ignore constituted authority. Yes, if he didn't conduct the election and he said, well, I'm going to conduct the election. So give him a time to conduct the election. 3 months, 6 months, I mean, it's not a big deal. Those who want to contest will still stand by. In fact, they get more prepared to win their voters to vote for them. But that can never be an excuse that governor did not conduct the election when it's as and when due, cannot give anybody the prerogative to cause confusion and chaos in the state. Like I said, caretaker committees are everywhere. They've had it. We've had it in this state. They're having it in all the other places. So any governor who did not maybe conduct election as and when may have his reasons, and the thing to do is to find out from him. And those who are not satisfied can challenge it. Challenge it in court. That's what the orderly society is about. It's not to create anarchy. It's not to arrogate to yourself the authority and power of the governor, where you are not. And we cannot have 2 governors at a time.
Okay, I'd like to ask, you said we should challenge the governor and ask him why is he not conducting an election. Is he not supposed to conduct an election? Are we not, pampering bad behavior? Because if the tenure is supposed to expire at a certain time, Constitution says states electoral bodies will conduct the election. And now we should have seen the conduct of the elections. Has he not even left room for this lacuna? And what are you people telling him? Because I know it's from your area, as regards these Wike fights. Because this has gone on for too long. Rivers State has one of the highest unemployment rates in the country. Nothing is being done as regards governance. It's just fight, 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 all through. So what are you, the elders, telling him in the state to do as regards this fight?
Well, I don't want to go into judgment of governor. I've told you that I didn't say you should go and challenge governor. What I said is that if the governor did not conduct the election, as you're saying, he must have his reason for not doing so. And the thing to do is to find out from him. I can't speak for him for that. What I am saying is that that in itself is not enough for anybody to take laws into his hand. That's what I'm saying. Second thing I said is that this is not the first time it's happening. So it's not as if something is happening under this governor and it's a novel thing. No. It's happened in this state that even those who were properly elected before that tenure exhausted were dissolved. And heaven did not fall. So why will heaven fall at this time if a man's tenure is over and he's told to go? And you're now bending your neck on the governor that, because you did not conduct the election as and when due, these people must stay and have a elongation. That is not the right thing to do. That's what I'm saying. And secondly, I've also said I cannot speak for the governor. What we have said, and elders have always advised, is that we need peace. And we need people to go according to the law. So I can't sit down here and talk to you and say, I will blame the governor for not conducting the election, so because of that, heavens will fall. Because he did not conduct the election, those who tenures have exhausted should stay back. That's anarchy.
But shouldn't we call a spade a spade? Shouldn't we condemn him when he doesn't conduct elections? Shouldn't we tell him, Governor, you go and conduct the election? Aren't we just holding breeze for him because he's governor and probably because we have sentiments towards him because he's the incumbent? Should we condone this? In the right sense, he's not supposed to conduct the elections in the first place and save himself all of this? What is he afraid of?
Yeah, thank you very much. Now, you see, you are now being judgmental. You are judging him, and you want me to follow you to judge him. And I've told you
But nature
that
abhors a
I'm not
vacuum.
Governor Siminala Ijaja. I'm Samina Fubara. Sorry?
Yeah. Nature abhors a vacuum if you don't conduct
I didn't
election.
get you.
Nature abhors a vacuum. If you don't conduct election and you leave a vacuum, you have opened room for anarchy. So a lot of people will argue invariably that he's now the architect of this anarchy happening in the States.
I think you're getting it completely wrong.
Okay, sir.
This is not the first time it's happening, and it's not happening here alone. Now, first of all, there is no anarchy. Well, you're right to say nature does not abhor vacuum. And that is why there is a provision for an interim arrangement until that vacuum is filled. That vacuum does not say you should have anarchy. That vacuum does not say you can now go, everybody can take over.
Sir.
Because there is a vacuum.
Sir.
The provision is made that if a vacuum occurs, there is an interim arrangement until that vacuum is filled. That's what I understand it to be. And like I said, if you want to judge Governor Siminala Fubara, what you should do is to interview him and find out from him why. You can't ask me, I'm not his spokesman. And you can't ask me why he didn't conduct the election. And you can't get me into a judgmental view about Governor Fubara not conducting the election. And you cannot, as you stand there, go ahead and support anarchy.
Well, sir.
And that's exactly what I think you're trying to do.
Sir, Governor Fubara says that the Constitution does not provide for tenure elongation for local councils. The same Constitution does not provide for caretaker committees. So he announcing caretaker committees, he's cherry picking, he's also violating the law. What the Constitution provides for in Section 4 is that the National Assembly can take over. So that will probably be the best way to resolve the matter. However, I wanted to ask you, since you made the point that it's not only in Rivers State that we have had this problem, to talk about this relationship between states and local councils, especially at this time when the Supreme Court is taking a look at a suit that was filed by the Attorney General of the Federation, insisting on local government autonomy. What do you think really the problem is between these state governors and local council chairmen? Not just in Rivers, all over.
Yes, I don't know whether is that Dr. Ruben?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, first of all, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to go into those kind of legal things. Maybe you know the Constitution, you know the provisions, and so you can quote them. Don't draw me into something that I'm not knowledge of, and I'm not going to be drawn into that. 2, I hope you are not advocating that the National Assembly should take over in Rivers State. I hope that's not your position, because some of the kind of statements you're making do not go for a solution to the problem. Like I said, I'm not saying that it's not only in Rivers State. Yes, it's not only in Rivers State. But I've also said that even in Rivers State, properly constituted councils were dissolved and caretaker committees set up. And we still moved on until elections were held. So there has to be a solution to the problem. And you're talking about Constitution does not provide for caretaker committee and so on. I don't know about that. I know that there's always a solution to a problem. And one of the solutions that have been adopted by people before Governor Siminala Fubara is that they have set up caretaker committees in an interim. until they're able to conduct elections. That is on. That is the position. So it's not a creation of Governor Fubara. And you cannot use that as a position to now talk about there's confusion, oh, he did not do that, he did not do this. I cannot stand for him. I've not consulted him, he didn't consult me. I'm only talking as an elder and as a Rivers man.
All right, sir.
That what we need is peace.
Yes, sir.
If there's an interim arrangement, let's have that interim arrangement on until elections are held.
All right, sir.
It will happen, elections will be held, and those who are in a position should go and contest it. That's my position.
All right, thank you. Very quickly, sir, because we're out of time now, I'd like to ask, some people have opined that the president should step in, that the president should call to order his minister, the former governor, Nyesom Wike, whose supporters are also coming out to say that they'll defend the chairman in power. And they've said that based on the history of this conflict, former Governor Wike has a big role to play. Therefore, the president ought to step in at this point to rein him in. Do you agree with that position? What do you think about that?
Well, I think the president, the father, has done that. I think he should also do that. He should save any chaotic situation in Rivers State because it will not do us any good. But this issue of pro-Wike and pro-Fubara, it doesn't make sense to me. What are you pro-Wike for? What are you pro-Fubara for? Is Wike contesting anything against Fubara in Rivers State? It doesn't make sense. Wike had done his 8 years, he's gone. Okilo did 8 years, did his, no, he left. Rufus Ada George did his own, Odele, Amechi, and Wike. So they've left, they've done, they've go. You don't have pro-Wike, pro-Fubara in a situation where Fubara is governor. So what are you creating? It's confusion. So the minister is minister. Luckily, he's got another, most of the others just retired and they didn't get any other position. Of course, Amechi got something minister too. And he left and he's threatening his house. So Minister Wike, who is governor of our state for 8 years, did his best. He has left. He should let the place go on. He brought Fubara into position and you should support him. And in Rotary, we say that a successor, a predecessor does not succeed until his successor succeeds. And it is the overall interest of all of us to make sure that the governor governs. And let me just correct Ruben's position that nothing is happening in the state. That is completely wrong. The governor had this 1-year program, and I'm sure that Arise must have been there. If they didn't come, I don't know why they didn't come. But everybody, his stock card was open. And to say that nothing is happening in the state is completely wrong. I think you should come and conduct a tour of the state and really see what is on and what's not on before you make such kind of statements.
Well, thank you very much, sir. On that note, we would like to thank you very much for joining us on the morning show.